Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Cadillac CT4-V.
And a big thanks to Jackson at AutoNation Cadillac in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the CT4 replaced the ATS as Cadillac's compact sedan back in 2020. There are 3 power plants available, starting with the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, cranking out 237 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. You can expect that car to get to 60 in under 7 seconds. You can upgrade to the 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder that's basically straight out of the Chevy Silverado. For the premium trim, you can expect 310 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. For the V that you see here, you can expect 325 horsepower, 380 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this car to 60 under 5 seconds. The top power plant for the CT4 is a 3.6-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder, which we already reviewed in this channel for the 2022 Blackwing. Make sure you check that video out. Cranking out 472 horsepower, 445 pound-feet of torque, enough to get that car to 60 under 4 seconds. Not many changes for 2023 outside of 3 new paint colors, starting with the Midnight Steel Metallic. We also get an Argent Steel Metallic and the Radiant Red Metallic that you see here. There are still 3 power plants for 2023 and 5 trim levels, all of them coming standard with rear-wheel drive. You can upgrade to all-wheel drive for about $1,500, starting with a $34,000 rear-wheel drive base, which is still really well loaded with features like LED headlights and taillights, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with an 8-inch touchscreen, wireless charging too. You can upgrade to the Premium Plus, which now gets memory seats, ambient interior lighting, front and rear parking sensing, auto-dimming rear view mirror, and an available 2.7-liter turbo, which, as we mentioned, cranks out 310 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque, enough to get that car to 60 in the low to mid 5-second range. For $41,000, you can get the Sport, which gives you most of the sporty accents as the V, and outside of the Blackwing, the V is the top trim for the 2023 CT4, coming standard with everything above, plus magnetic ride, a 14-speaker Bose sound system, Brembo brakes, and a base price at $46,000. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, you notice your flickering LED daytime running lights. They're not actually flickering in real life. Really clean front end styling with the black accents and this Radiant Red Metallic. It's a little bit dirty right now, but it's an absolutely beautiful color. Probably one of my favorite colors on any vehicle. It reminds me a lot of that cherry red metallic, which I loved for the previous year's GM vehicles. We have full front parking sensing, no forward-facing camera, but we get the performance data recorder here as an option for the CT4 available here. The airflow in the corners are not functional, unfortunately, but in the center we have a ton of airflow for the radiator up top, intercooler down below, and 2 sets of braces, which should help the handling tremendously for this 2023 CT4-V. The wheel and tire setup, pretty aggressive. We get these sporty 19-inch rims. I love the spoke design. It's just the tires aren't the most aggressive for a sporty trim. We have Continental Pro Contact all-season tires. The dimensions are a pretty skinny 235 35 R19. The 235s are a square setup. If they were just a front setup, I wouldn't mind it if we had like 265s out rear, but they're a square 235 wide setup. I would expect at least 255s for a vehicle like this. We get Brembo brakes though, 4-piston up front and still a painted red brake caliper out rear, which we'll check out in 1 second. No plastic cladding anywhere. I like this black trim for the rocker panel side skirt area. V badge in the corner. Blacked out mirror. It is a foldable mirror, LED turn signal on it. Blind spot monitoring on the glass, standard feature. We get black trim for the window trim, no moonroof or anything like that. It would be nice to get a moonroof or a sunroof as a standard feature for the V. We get 4-door smart access out rear. Same wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. I would expect at least 255, 265 wide tires out rear, but we still get a painted red rear brake caliper. No side sensing. We don't get the 360 here for the CT-SV, but we still get front and rear parking sensing and a really high resolution backup camera. Full LED taillights, full rear parking sensing, as we mentioned, CT4 badge in the corner, V badge in the other corner, like the black lip spoiler, backup camera right above the Cadillac badge, quad exhaust tips with a pretty aggressive black diffuser. But speaking of the quad exhaust tips, let's fire up this 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder sold by Cadillac for the 2023 CT4-V. And it sounds okay, it makes a ton of power for what it is, cranking out 325 horsepower, 380 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this rear-wheel drive sports car to 60 in around 5 seconds, maybe quicker if you get a really good launch. We have strut towers connecting the struts to the chassis. We also have additional sets of supports connecting the chassis together up front, so the handling should be fantastic. We already reviewed the Blackwing and it was excellent, basically just a 4-door Camaro, so I'm excited to see what this thing's got as well. But what you see is basically what we get. I appreciate the hydraulic struts. It says V right up top on the hood, but anyway, we can shut this hood right down, take a walk around this 2023 CT4-V one more time. It's a beautiful vehicle. Styling wise, for the sub $50,000 price range, I really don't see how you can beat it. As far as the interior, let's see what we get for the money. So again, smart access for all 4 doors, blind spot monitoring on the glass. We can set these headlights back to auto so the car is not beeping at me. So up top we get 2 tiers of leather with orange contrast stitching to separate the 2 tiers, 2-person memory seats, lock and unlock, 14-speaker Bose sound system, 2 speakers on the door panel down below, gushy soft leather armrest with perforated leather in the center, auto one touch up front, 4-way adjustable mirrors. They are not power folding though, unfortunately. Power windows out rear too, massive storage, 2 tiers of you'll fit car accessories up top, easily fit a foot long and a 20-ounce water bottle to wash it down. Trunk release, aluminum V nameplate as you step inside. The seats are pretty aggressive for a luxury car seat. They're still very soft, comfortable, but still supportive for a sporty car. V badge right up top, orange contrast stitching, continuing that theme. Perforated leather for the center area. Heated and ventilated seats here. We have 4-way adjustable lumbar. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats. Floor mats also say V. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out and see what we get on this 2023 V. Foot on the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. That red dot is like your auto emergency braking. It beeps red if someone in front of you slams on their brakes. But first thing we notice, the steering wheel is very thick and sporty feeling. We have a solid 10-2 bolstering notch, 9-3 fits great in your hand, and aluminum paddle shifters are also appreciated. Horn area is rubberized, horn itself loud and aggressive. We can do a window check, see if we get dual panes on the CT4-V, and we do get dual panes. I'll try to lower it a little bit more so you guys can see on camera. That's a really nice feature for a sub $50,000 base price sports car. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have our cruise control settings, voice commands. You can answer and hang up your phone calls, forward collision alert, and a heated steering wheel. On the right side, you can skip your songs, adjust the volume, adjust the infotainment too, and we get our V mode. You press this V mode button and it shows us our steering, suspension, engine shift, brake feel, engine sound, and the PTM, all adjustable. And this button just alternates you between Tour and V mode. You can adjust V mode to make the steering more aggressive. For the purpose of this review, we'll make everything in its most aggressive mode in V mode just to see the differences during the review. PTM, I'm not quite sure what this is. So it controls the vehicle performance systems for professional handling on racetrack. Traction control and stability control are reduced as you move through the race. Changing PTM settings may also automatically change other settings. Cool. You can see the engine sound, brake feel, engine shift, suspension lights. Awesome. So yeah, PTM will set to the most aggressive mode as well, and then we'll check out V mode during this review. Okay, cool. But speaking of the infotainment, right now we're looking at trip 1, trip 2, fuel range, oil life, tire pressure, air filter life, brake pad life, driver assistance, engine boost pressure, and a blank screen. We can see the music, heads up turn by turn for the navigation, phone settings, and the overall settings. But my personal favorite to look at all times would probably be either the V mode information, which shows us the 0 to 60, tire pressure, or a blank screen, or just the information in general, and I would leave it at engine boost pressure. It's my personal favorite to look at all times. On the left side, we have a tach that goes to about 6,000 RPM, pretty high revving for a turbo 4-cylinder, 180 for the speedometer, coolant temperature in the right corner, fuel level in the left corner. The dashboard is all soft touch material, leather up here with contrast stitching, same for the passenger area. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our electronic parking brake, interior brightness. We don't get a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel, but sub $50,000 sports car wouldn't really be expected. I like the aluminum outline pedals with a floor mounted accelerator pedal just like in the Camaro. Auto dimming frameless rear view mirror, that's an appreciated feature that's available for the non-base trims for the CT4. Touchscreen, one thing I noticed is my Camaro has a touchscreen that angles down, and Chevy says the reason they do that is to reduce glare. If that's the case, why does Cadillac do the complete opposite and have the screen facing up where it catches just about all the glare? Not sure, but it's still a great touchscreen, 8 inches. The response is fantastic, just like an iPhone. The navigation screen responds literally just like an iPhone. Huge thumbs up to Chevy or GM and Cadillac for this fantastic system. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all wireless, Wi-Fi hotspot, performance data recorder. We can check that out too. We're not going to use it, of course, but it is available as soon as it decides to load up. All right, so here we have video overlay and lap timing for a select track. Recordings, settings, all are adjustable. But my personal favorite to look at all times would be the map, so we'll leave it here. Home screen with some piano black surrounding it, air vents beneath that, dual zone automatic climate control with heated and ventilated front seats. Parking sensors you can disable, hazards in the center, lane keep assist, and heated ventilated seats for the passenger too. Wireless charging pad, gear selector controls, a 10-speed automatic transmission, leather stitch trim for where your knee will often hit, volume and skip adjustments, shortcuts if you don't want to go through the touchscreen because it's in a pretty far away location, music, nav, back, and the call settings and the adjustments for the dial right here in the center. The cup holders, they'll fit about 20, maybe 24 ounce cups, pretty wide pass through, good spot for a key, good spot for a phone. Behind that, auto start stop, you can disable for the purpose of this review. Drive mode selector, we have Tour, Sport, Track, Snow and Ice, and also the V mode. We'll start the review off in Tour, transition into Sport, also check out V mode and see what all the differences are. Anyway, I like this carbon trim surrounding the cup holders. The armrest is pretty soft, a million times softer than the Camaro, twice as wide, twice as long. We check out the actual space in it, and also twice as large. You'll fit a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans in there with no problem. We have a USB-C and a USB-A port in a perfect slot for a phone right here in the corner as well. Hopefully you pick up the space. I apologize for the glare. The sun is really pounding on us. There's not a tree in sight. We're on top of a parking garage right now. So again, apologize for the glare. The glove box area is rubberized. Surprising, it's damped and lined with felt. Massive. You're fitting 35 license plates in there. This is one of the largest glove boxes I've seen in a compact vehicle yet. We mentioned the auto dimming frameless rear view mirror. Interior lights are LED, 3 garage home link settings, and we don't get a moonroof, but the material here for the headliner is pretty premium. And as you see how it caves up, gives us an extra inch or two of overall headroom. That's nice if you take this to the track and want to wear a helmet. That's about it though for the front seat. We have auto rain sensing wipers too, if we didn't mention, auto high beams and auto headlamps. We can take a quick look at the window sticker, see any features that I may have missed on this 2023 CT4-V series with the radiant red tint coat and a jet black interior. 2.7 liter turbo made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. But anyway, standard features, you guys can pause, take a look at all of these. Truly loaded with standard features for a $46,000 base price. Options, 19-inch alloys are $2,700, $2,100 for the navigation package. That gives the performance data recorder and video recorder with Cadillac user experience with embedded navigation. The upgraded leather seats are $1,500, $1,225 for the radiant red tint coat, $1,200 for the climate package, which gives us the heated and ventilated front seats and power lumbar with massage function. The red painted Brembo brake calipers are $600. The black spoilers also $600, $400 for the seatbelt color, $195 for the black mirror covers. Everything else is included. After a little bit over $10,000 in options and a $1,400 destination charge, total price sitting a tick over $58,000. Fuel economy surprisingly good for a performance vehicle. Almost 25 combined MPGs, 20 in the city, 29 on the highway. That's about it though. We put this window sticker away, hop out of the front seat, check out the back seat, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. So up top, just like up front, we have 2 tiers of leather stitch trim. Perforated leather in the center, soft gushy material also in the lower center. The armrest itself though, it's not as soft as the middle portion. I kind of wish they flip-flopped the materials, but still leather contrast stitch trim premium and looks fantastic. A little bit of storage in between the door handle, but nothing down below. 2 speakers for the 14-speaker Bose sound system. The rear seats are really premium. The bolstering is impressive for a back seat. Contrast stitching, perforated in the center. They're not heated or ventilated, but still a really high quality looking back seat. Space, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have an inch or two of knee room. My head is starting to touch. So if you're over 6 foot tall, maybe not be the most comfortable back seat space, but under 6 feet tall, you'll have no problem sitting behind your seat settings. I could also just sit behind the passenger and they'll compromise an inch or two of their legroom and make it super comfortable for me. But anyway, this is a compact vehicle. Compared to the platform this shares, like with the Camaro, this is double the size, triple the size of a back seat. We have rear air vents and a 12 volt right beneath that, two mat pockets behind both of the front seats. But what you see is basically what we get. The interior lights back here are LED. We get a hook for the armrest. No moonroof, so not the most light brought into the cabin, but that's nice for a day like today. Reduces the glare quite a bit. I like those red seat belts. They make the interior look a lot more premium and sporty. That's about it though for the back seat. Let's hop out into the cargo space, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this 2023 Cadillac CT4-V out for a drive. So down below, underneath the Cadillac badge, is a button for the trunk boost. I like how the latches are hidden, so you don't have to worry about crushing your cargo. The space, pretty impressive. It's probably double, maybe triple the size of the Camaro. The opening is quadruple the size. So if you want a sporty platform, but you just can't deal with the tininess of a Chevy Camaro, this is a great way to go. Massive opening, very large trunk itself, pretty wide floor. Unfortunately, we have humps, so the golf bag won't sit flushly, but thanks to the wheel well cutouts, it still may fit horizontally. We can see if we have any secret storage available. We do. We can drop this little secret storage cover down. We can drop the trunk too. Pretty large cargo space. Not the largest back seat, but usable for anybody under 6 feet tall. Overall, this is a really impressive performance sedan with a base price under 50,000 bucks, well under 50,000 bucks. This is a really well optioned version. I don't think I recommend going with necessarily all of these options at this price point. It may make sense to go with the Blackwing, but still for a sub $50,000 base price, that's probably the way that I would spec it out. You get a lot for the money. Performance wise, let's take this car for a drive and see what it's got. All right guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2023 Cadillac CT4-V. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions are in tour mode. The throttle still feels very solid. We'll take a step out here, lean into it a little bit. We're still in tour mode, about half throttle. Oh, yeah, okay. Through the twisty, steering feels good, body roll is limited. Wow, that steering feels very similar to a Camaro. We'll throw it in the sport and V mode, see what changes up. Oh, wow. In tour mode, it feels really good. We can take a step right here, throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. Wow, the body roll just like doesn't exist. Big bump, we can run it over. See the composure. I was not expecting the ride quality to be that good. These are paper thin 35 series sidewalls, 235 wide. On an Alpha chassis, Alpha 2 chassis, just like the Camaro, and the ride quality is just miles ahead. We gotta try it out in sport mode. So we'll do V mode next, but right now sport. You know what, let's just do track. We'll do track mode and then V mode, which is gonna make everything in the most aggressive settings. Steering is triple the weight. It was pretty well weighted before, but in sport, it feels a lot heavier, noticeably heavier. We'll take a step out here, lean into a little bit. Throttle feels more sensitive. Lean into it. Ooh, wow. Oh, this thing just takes off. It sounds way better in sport too. Try out the paddles. Oh, once that boost kicks in, oh, steering feels good. Guys, this thing can move once that boost kicks in. Brakes feel good. We'll drive over a couple speed bumps in sport. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, we're in track mode. We'll see the speed bump right here in track. It's pretty well composed, but it's definitely noticeably stiffer than it was in tour. We'll try it one more time in tour and then throw it into V mode and see what changes up suspension-wise. But now in tour mode, we'll drive over the same speed bumps. It's softer. It's still a pretty stiff ride, but it's way softer compared to a Camaro. One more time in tour mode. Yeah, it's a lot softer. Like, it's still a performance vehicle. Don't expect it to feel like an S-Class or even like a CT5. I'm sure the CT5 has softer ride quality, but this is still very impressive. All right, guys, before we try it out in tour mode, we'll try out a turning radius, see what we can do. Really sharp, just like a Camaro, basically the exact same turning radius, which is impressive considering it is a longer vehicle. But okay, V mode, we'll check it out. the V mode. Everything is ultimate aggressiveness. And we'll see what it is. Steering gets even more heavy, a little bit heavier. Bump. Stiffer a little bit, but it's still very composed. I'd probably leave this car in sport permanently if I drove it. The track is a little bit too aggressive. V mode, I would like to keep my traction and stability control on, especially if I only have a two-wheel drive version of this. But as soon as this guy passes, we'll try out an acceleration off the line and I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, V mode, off the line, no brake torque, just on the gas. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Guys, this thing can't move. If you get good traction, all right, before I talk, let's go. Oh, my God, yeah. This thing is just an absolute beast. But if it wasn't for these crappy, skinny 235 wide tires, you can actually launch the crap out of this thing, put all the power down off the line, and I can see you do 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. With these tires, it's tough to get that ultimate traction off the line. So maybe not under 5 seconds. But it's still close to 5 seconds. Once that power is put down, it feels so good. The steering here feels so good. This feels just as good as an M340i steering, in my opinion. This may actually feel better of a steering rack than an M340i. Is it faster? No. Is the seating position as good? Absolutely not. That's also one thing that I'd like to mention. I currently have the seat in the all the way lowest setting. It does not get any lower than this. And I feel a little bit close to my head to the ceiling. I'm looking down and I can see the front of this hood, which isn't a bad thing. But compared to like my Camaro in the lowest seat setting, my head is like underneath the cowl of the hood. I could barely see anything. I actually don't have my Camaro in the lowest seat setting. Here in the lowest seat setting, I wish it went a little bit lower. One other thing that I forgot to mention, these seats have adjustable thigh support. It's not a power adjustment, but you can pull this latch just like in most of the BMW cars and adjust the thigh support. But we'll step out onto this multiple lane highway in 1 second, open this thing up even more, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. Never mind, guys, we're ready to go right now. But taking a step out here, we can try it out with manual shifts, first gear, on the gas. This thing just stepped out a little bit in first gear. It's such a fun vehicle to drive. Yes, the 235 wide tires make it step out even more frequently than it needs to, but it's still an absolute blast. We can try out a little second gear pull. Boost. Oh my God, once that boost kicks in, guys, this thing is just an absolute monster. Looks like we have another opportunity to try out an acceleration off the line, and I'll catch you back with you in 1 second. All right, guys, V mode, off the line, on the gas. Ooh. Yeah, this thing can pull, and pull. All right, guys, we could try out a real world turning radius. Very sharp, on the gas. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. The way that it builds power, it starts down low, but it continues to pull up top. This really reminds me of something that you would drive from BMW. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a performance sedan with a base price under 50,000 bucks, I don't see how you can beat this, considering a 3.5 or 3.3 liter Genesis G70. It might be about as quick as this, maybe a tad bit quicker, but it's not as fun to drive. The handling here is twice as good. This is basically a BMW M340i. It's a little bit slower than an M340i, but it's $10,000 cheaper out the box, and it handles just as well. The interior is just as spacious and high quality. Overall, if you want to save 10,000 bucks, you don't need the brute speed of an M340i. You're more than happy doing 0 to 60 in the high 4s, low 5s. I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Cadillac CT4-V. I wouldn't necessarily say to option it out as heavily as we have here. If you're going to option it out to near 60,000 bucks, might as well just spend an extra couple thousand and go for the Blackwing, where you'll have 150 more horsepower, 80 more pound-feet of torque. It's just a more thrilling performance vehicle in general. So at the $60,000 price point, I recommend going for the Blackwing. If you're looking for a sub $50,000 luxury performance sedan, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2023 Cadillac CT4-V. And a big thanks to AutoNation Cadillac in Port Richey, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Port Richey, Tampa, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.